Okay, my name's Parker. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible because I'm really good at rambling. I wanted to make something because I haven't been feeling very creative, so I figured I'd make a YouTube video. Boom. Media diet's up on my account, and I'm going to be talking about that because there was a comment in there that really pulled my brain out. I'm going to just talk about that, but first, before I do, I just want to talk about addictions and how I see addictions. I see addictions as just people looking for a good feeling. People are looking for a hit of dopamine. I know dopamine isn't the actual word. My psychology teacher would probably be pretty bothered if I use that. We're just going to use dopamine for the sake of simplicity and the sake of general nomenclature online. People are looking for a hit of dopamine, and that's with anything. Nicotine, boom, release of dopamine. Gambling, release of dopamine. And it's always chasing that dragon. Social media has let so much of that gambling nonsense kind of flood in to keep people hooked. It's got like the scrolling mechanics, the same deal that the slot machines have, and the feeling that you get when you have that is just completely euphoric. I love every bit of it, but it is addicting, and no one can deny how addicting it is. And I do want to preface that because I will talk about it later, at least in the way that I see it. Everything is and can be addictive. Specifically, it was mentioned in the comment about reading. Reading is addictive. It's a form of entertainment. Entertainment's made to make you feel good. If you don't feel good from watching entertainment, it's going to be pretty shit entertainment. But anything that feels good, you're going to naturally want more of. Some people can feel completed from having a certain amount of stuff. Other people, especially people who suffer with ADHD or certain dopamine disorders, like me, won't find that. And they'll always seek for more. Why am I talking about addiction? Because I'm a 20-year-old kid in my parents' basement right now, and I'm talking about addiction like I'm a professional. I'm not. Unfortunately, I've had my dopamine-seeking stuff in high school. At the very beginning of it, before COVID, I really wanted to vape like the cool kids. Terrible decision, and anyone who's watching should never do it. If you haven't done it, don't do it. It's not worth dabbling in. In an introspective way, when I was quitting nicotine, I've been off for about 6 months. I noticed the feelings that I felt of as I was coming down from this little high of dopamine that was being released whenever I had hit it, and I could feel the sensation of me wanting more. The reason I'm talking about it today is because I've noticed that in social media. It wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't controlling my life right now, because I'm very dopamine seeking and a lot of my productivity is lost to me sitting on my phone. Oh, just shut your phone off, Parker. It's not that big of a deal. Here I am clocking probably 6 hours of screen time yesterday. That's concerning. For me, in my eyes, I find it concerning. If I get the same feeling from my cell phone as I did with hitting a vape or smoking a cigarette or fucking tucking in a Zyn, I don't think that should be anything that children should have their hands on. And I've also noticed a lot of other things with social media. Like I'm a weirdo and I analyze social situations. I'll be out in public and I notice that there aren't many people from my generation out there. I think that it's a ripple effect from having COVID existing, like in high school. That's a lot of time where there's experimentation, people kind of understand what's a social norm and what isn't. It allowed for a lot of like making friends and finding a community. It kind of got lost with that COVID aspect. And I think it's really big, especially because for me, it made me develop my really poor habit of being on social media so much. But nowadays I can see that there aren't many people my age, or at least not an overwhelming amount of people that are my age that are out and about in the community. So let's talk about the comment. It's by Dev Dutsin 4704. I'm butchering that. Says, they say read a book and people are reading fiction. I mean, that's your own addiction, bruv. The fiction is entertaining, so you are reading it. Just like real is entertaining to Insta users. So reading a book does not make you a better human being than a simple scroller. Reading a book is addicting, but it's a different level of addicting. I'm not, feeling my legs up every time to see if my book's in my pocket. Because I'm bored, I'm not itching to read a book. I think a book's a good filler for me in what I do. And it's not like I read every day. I read really slow. I'm trying to learn to read, really, because I never had that when I was younger. But yes, a book is addicting. Entertainment is addicting. I know that entertainment is addicting. And I know that people who've ever binge watched a show, they know it's addicting. And it's amazing. It's just a book. It slows you down. It's kind of like, going on a walk instead of a run. You get to see what's around. You're not trying to get somewhere. You're just enjoying the journey. That's kind of how I'm going about it. And he mentions in here that, so reading a book does not make you a better human being than a simple scroller. And I don't think it does. I'm a simple scroller. I am that. I'm the person reading the book and I'm the simple scroller. Like one of the reasons I made this project and made that the topic was because I have a problem. I can't seem to put my phone down. Like for me, a lot of the time when I was working full time, I would pull 10, 12-hour days, and then I'd go home and sit and I'd scroll and I'd scroll and I'd scroll, and then I'd go to sleep. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Doesn't matter if you like the way I live my life. I don't like the way I live my life. And then he puts down in the bottom of this comment, we're going back to the comment, by read a book, the narrator means increase your knowledge. Use it to make the world a better place. Yeah. Yes. No. Yes. No. I think knowledge is only made by experience. That's just the way that I see it. If you just read a book and expect to know everything in there without putting hands on, then you're never really going to know it. I know some people's brains work like that, but I'm not that person. I think if you want knowledge, I think you should learn about something in your own unique way and go and have some experience about it. People think that knowledge comes from books, but knowledge comes from you doing things. If that's the knowledge I'm thinking of, use it to make the world a better place. I've been recording this. This is like take number 5 of this. And yesterday I was making takes of this, trying to figure out how I could talk about this properly. And like I want people to see that it's not, there's different ways of doing this, and there's different ways of growing as a human being. But to grow as a human being, you can't have the distractions in your life, like social media, all the time. And that's what I'm learning. And that's what kind of my project was about. Thank you for the comment. But it wasn't what I was getting at. I hope that in this way, I hope there was in no way any harm to you. I hope it wasn't belittling in any way. I hope that maybe someone who watched this learned something. And maybe someone got inspired by it. I actually hope that more people comment, because this is very fun for me to make. I don't know. That's it. See you in the next one, I guess.